Ladies and gentlemen, this YouTube channel vlog show is of authenticity, inspiration, and realness. It is also about personality, good times, and fun. This is Eric Lima Shenanigans of 1977. And now, here is your host of the show, Mr. Big Beefy E himself, the elder statesman of Rant and Rave, and Mr. Shenanigans himself, Eric M. Lima.
Thank you very much, Mr. Announcer, sir. Well, hello there, everyone. Welcome to yet another episode of Eric Lima Shenanigans of 1977, episode 1096, 11:37 p.m., December 23rd, 2023. We're 2 days away from Christmas, and 8 days left of 2023. So, this is the final collision. No, actually, not the final collision. We're talking next week will be the final collision and rampage of 2023. Well, right now we're going to talk about what happened on collision about an hour and a half ago, because it was over an hour and a half ago. This was the Continental Classic had some great moments and great matches. It's unbelievable how this has turned out to be, because I think this Continental Classic, especially in the Blue League, it proves that anything can happen in professional wrestling. We're talking about the Continental Classic, the first blue match of the night, Bryan Danielson versus Claudio Castagnoli. Now, Claudio Castagnoli wins, he's still in it, but if Bryan Danielson wins, or is it time Bryan Danielson wins, he'd be head of the pack. But it all depends on the other two matches that happens, what happened to Claudio Castagnoli's fate. And this matchup ended up being a time limit draw. First draw in the tournament. And that means each of them get a point. But Claudio Castagnoli will end with 7. While Bryan Danielson ends up with 10. And he's in the lead. But he's also made it to the finals. Well, who's going to face him? Depends on the other two matches. Now, the Trios titles on the line. The Acclaimed and Billy Gunn, a.k.a. Daddy Ass, defends against Top Action Flight. That's the Top Flight, the brothers Dante and Darius, and Action and Andretti. And this was a heck of a matchup. Could have gone either way, but the Acclaimed and Billy Gunn retained the Trios titles and then shook hands with Top Action Flight after the match. So that was good sportsmanship between both teams. Excellent matchup between both teams. Hookers responded to Willie Udah's challenge. And he says, well, you want my title? We'll do it in my place, New York City. Does that mean at World's End the FTW's title on the line? I don't know. Well, we'll find out for sure. It could be next week, for all we know. Then, this is the Big E special. Big meaty men slapping meat as Keith Lee went one-on-one with Brian Cage. The Machine and the Limitless One. They went at it, and in the end, Keith Lee won the match, despite the fact that Prince Nana tried to throw a cinder block inside the ring. But then Keith Lee grabs the cinder block and says, you know what? I'm going to continue when I started. I got some unfinished business with Swerve Strickland. I'm like, hey boy, this is going to be a fun deal. So, and Renee Paquette interviewed my favorite lady of AEW, Timeless, Toni Storm. The AEW Women's World Champion addressed Riho and hoping that she beats Riho. And then Mariah May said that she's been cleared to compete. She had her American Wrestling license approved. But when is she going to make her debut? We don't know. But she says it's going to be very, very soon. I would not be very surprised if Toni Storm retains the title against Riho at World's End and Mariah May blasts her. And I'm still rooting for Toni Storm, because Mariah May's playing Toni Storm like a fiddle, and that's not. And hopefully Toni Storm realizes this before it's too late. Anyways, Christian Cage and Nick Wayne came out to address the crowd, and Christian Cage explains himself and said, hey, you want to know what happened in the actions a couple of weeks ago? Well, don't take my word for it, he says. Shayna Wayne came out and says, "I do." You boo a mother. You boo a mother. I did because I want to say I do anything for my son to protect him. And then she went on to say that my son's got the best patriarch in Christian Cage. And in Christian Cage, not only I scored retaining the title, I also scored someone else. And he looked at Shayna Wayne, and I'm going, uh-oh. I kind of knew it. I knew it that somehow Christian Cage was, well, let's just say for all intents and purposes, I'm trying to keep it clean, that he did it with Shayna Wayne. And Shayna Wayne's not that bad to look at. Might I digress. But, however, it seems like Shayna Wayne, now we saw no kill switch, aka Luchasaurus, is, they're behind the scenes. Is Jack Perry even coming back to AEW? If so, well, the fans were cheering for him or booing him. Is he the devil? Is he reuniting himself with Luchasaurus to reform Jurassic Express? I don't know what's going on. But one thing's for sure. Ever since that incident with Jack Perry, that incident with CM Punk saying, it's real glass, cry me a river, we have not seen him since. So, a lot of mind games being played here. Then Lexi Nair interviewed, in fact, before I go on, Christian Cage did accept the challenge for the TNT Championship in a no disqualification match at World's End. And then Lexi Nair interviews Big Bill and Ricky Starks, the tag team champions, and they were making fun of Kenny Omega. And Chris Jericho goes, I signed a contract and I will beat you and get those titles. Question is, whose partner is it? Me and Jordan were kind of speculating it could be Sammy Guevara. We have not seen Sammy Guevara in months due to paternal leaving, so we shall see what's going on there. Now the Blue League Continental Classic second matchup, Daniel Garcia and Brody King. Now both men. Now Brody King needs a win to stay alive in this, but if Daniel Garcia beats him, there goes that. This matchup got to the point we all thought that Brody King was going to win, but Daniel Garcia never gave up. He did a little dance thing during the time, and it motivated him. And this was a matchup, but this was a great matchup. But then Daniel Garcia flipped Brody King over, so to speak, and grabbed him, pinned him 1, 2, 3. Daniel Garcia wins the match, but he's been eliminated from the tournament. But then mathematically eliminated from the tournament. But then the lights go out. Malachi Black and Buddy Matthews showed up. All three were attacking him. Matt Menard tried to get involved. He was attacked too. He was knocked out of the way, but then FTR comes out. He says, you know what, we had enough of these games. FTR and HOB to a matchup, and they nodded their heads, okay, challenge accepted. And then ladies' action. Abaddon returning Thunder Rosa faces Julia Hart in a new look sky blue. New outfit and all for her. And this was a heck of a matchup, and Thunder Rosa and Abaddon did pick up the victory. And Abaddon will be challenging Julia Hart for the TBS Championship at World's End. Now, the final Continental Classic in the Blue League. Eddie Kingston versus Andrade El Idolo. Now, I want to explain to you something. The reason why you didn't see CJ Perry there tonight, she suffered an injury that had an infection on her finger to the point, while in Mexico managing Andrade, it got to the point where they had to cut the finger open, which I saw on Instagram. Kind of gross. And try to drain all the infections out, the poison or toxins, something like that. I don't know what's going on. And she had to stay in the hospital. And Miro came to visit with Lovely Light, bringing her a bouquet of roses, which was so sweet of Miro. Miro, you're a top man for being a good husband. So that's why you probably not going to see CJ Perry there for a while. But I hope, and CJ Perry, if you're watching this, get well. So we miss you. But then Eddie Kingston was Andrade El Idolo. Here's the deal: if Kingston loses, he loses both of those titles and be out of the tournament. But if he wins, he knocks Claudio Castagnoli out. and he will be facing Bryan Danielson in the Blue League final. Sure enough, he beat Andrade El Idolo, and then Bryan Danielson comes to confront Kingston after the matchup. Eddie Kingston's got a chance to get back at Bryan Danielson for saying Eddie is a bum. So we'll see that is the case. So I'm predicting that for the Continental Classic final, Jon Moxley versus Eddie Kingston at World's End. That's my pick. So that is all the time we have on this show. I want to wish you all a very, very Merry Christmas and a Happy New Year. Hope you guys enjoy yourselves, enjoy the holidays with your loved ones. And if your loved ones have watched this show before, you tell them Eric Lima says hi. All right? So I will see you guys later. You guys have a wonderful, wonderful night. And until the next episode comes rolling around, Mr. Announcer, take us home.
This concludes today's episode. This is Mr. Lima speaking for Eric Lima Shenanigans of 1977. A Big Beefy E, do it for Bob Saget Productions, and in association with A Raven Bova Telepictures and Distribution. See you next time on another episode of the show. Goodbye for now.